Well, g'day, and here we go with the flipped classroom video for Unit 9, Chapter 2. Today we are going to review a bit about how to write a diary. You may remember that we did this back in Unit 3. It might be a good idea to go back and review that video if you have time. The topic of this chapter is the Edinburgh Festival Journal. We will read through the diary entries of someone who has travelled to Scotland to visit the Edinburgh International Festival. So without any further ado, let's begin. As I said just a couple of seconds ago, we covered a few hints about writing a diary back in Unit 3. In this lesson, we're just going to review those tips. It is important not to get into the mindset of once you have practiced one way of writing, you don't need to do it anymore. Obviously, this is not true. An Olympic athlete does not give up practicing one aspect of his or her sport just because they have done it before. You should have a similar attitude in your quest to becoming an Olympic athlete of writing. We're also going to try to add some concrete details, like we have done in the past 2 weeks or so. And finally, I hope you'll notice the kind of language used to express feelings and emotions and take in those ideas when you write your diary entries this week. As always, we are going to continue with our Dictogloss activities in class. You can prepare for this at home by reviewing your memos from last time. Also, you can use the flipped classroom videos in combination with the captions to help your listening skills. Before we read, it is always better to have some background knowledge about the topic. This is also called schema or schemata. Have you ever heard of the Edinburgh International Festival? If not, you will understand a lot more and, more importantly, create a better image of the story you are reading if you do a little research before. Here's a short video advertising the Edinburgh International Festival. Have a quick look so you will be better prepared for the passage you are about to read. Start by going to YouTube and search 2014 Edinburgh International Festival. The video should be near the top and will have a thumbnail something like this. Take the time to have a look at the video and see what kind of events they have at this festival. We don't have an introduction or conclusion in this week's passage, and that is okay. It's a diary, and not for any particular reason, such as studying English as we saw in Unit 3. As I suggested last time, it is really important to express your feelings in a diary. If you just talk about what you are doing, it is not going to be very interesting to write, and you may soon give up. Of course, you also need to add the reasons why you feel this way. Adding concrete details, like in blue here, will give you better memories, which is often the whole purpose of writing a diary. So this is going to be a common pattern we see in these diary entries: emotions and concrete details about where the writer went or what he or she did. Have a quick look through this entry and find the emotions the writer feels. Here are some in red. Now, it is best to add a couple of concrete reasons for those feelings. Can you find those in this passage? Here are some in blue. Adding exactly what you do or where you went makes it easier for you to remember when you read your diary again a few months later. If I want to be critical of this diary entry, and it is not necessarily a bad thing to be critical, I would say the writer could have been a little clearer on line 2 here about where and what he or she had for dinner. Again, we are going to see a similar pattern in this passage. See how you go this time. First, I have marked 5 places in red that indicate some emotions and feelings of the writer. Can you find them? I'll give you 10 seconds. Okay, here they are. How did you go? Did you choose wish as a feeling? Like last time, we see the reasons very clearly here in blue. This is much better than the previous entry at the end here because the writer has written exactly what the food was that he or she didn't like. In this case, it was haggis. You can see a picture of haggis in your text with an explanation of what it is at the bottom of the page. What do you think? Would you be eager to give it a go and eat some haggis? No? Neither would I. But it seems that it is pretty popular in Scotland. To each and their own, I guess. And this is the final diary entry. There's only one emotion expressed in this one. Can you find it? Yes, nice. There it is. Actually, I have no idea if you chose the correct place or not, but I have high expectations of you, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. There are also many places with concrete place names, times, and other information here. I've marked them in blue. Even in this short paragraph, the writer has given 7 pieces of concrete information. I hope you too will follow this way and give a lot of such details in your writing too. You've got a fair amount of homework this week, so make sure you get started with it early and submit it before the deadline. This week, I'd like you to write a couple of diary entries. You can go back and review what you wrote in Unit 3. Of course, you shouldn't be just copying and pasting those entries, but rereading them and thinking how you are going to write much better diary entries this time. In your diary entries, you need to be clear with specific details and make sure you discuss your feelings. See you in class.